Hi, welcome back to This Could Be a Podcast. You're back again with us, Jen and Peter.
I'm here.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm doing alright. I'm alright.
You alright?
I'm alright. I'm getting a bit
alright.
sick of lockdown, but
I think we all are.
yeah.
To
I
be
mean,
fair,
honestly, I'm so fucking done with it. But I'm alright. Aside from that,
I feel great because this one's for the memory log. I handed in my last university assignment ever.
cheering.
Wow! So exciting. So, today, we are going to talk about our personalities.
Yeah.
Because some of you know us really well. Some of you are friends and family. Others, you don't know us at all. So, we're going to do 2 personality quizzes. And then we're also going to look at our zodiac signs.
Yeah, we're looking at the damn zodiacs. Oh, man.
For those of you who tune in and listen frequently, you know that I'm kind of into zodiac signs. I don't believe in it wholeheartedly. I think it's fun and I think it does hold a bit of truth. Peter is very much against it.
I am very skeptical. I think it's the biggest bullshit. We'll see. But the thing is that, my prediction is that it's going to be very, representative of what I'm like and what you're going to be like, because it's so fucking general that you could apply it to anybody.
That's fair.
That's my criticism.
I mean, yeah, that's fair enough. So the 2 other personality quizzes we're going to be doing, one of them is the Myers-Briggs personality, also known as 16 personalities. For the benefit of the podcast, we've already taken these quizzes so that,
so you don't have to watch us
time.
sitting here thinking, oh, fuck, what do I have?
Exactly. And I'm sure most of you have probably done the quizzes anyway, so you'll kind of know what the questions are about. They ask questions on a Likert scale, on
very strongly disagree.
Do you
agree.
Exactly. It's like, oh, would you approach someone that you don't know on the street? And then that's how you get introvertedness, extrovertedness. What are the other ones? There's your mind. So that's extroverted or introvertedness, which determines how you interact with your environment. There's energy. And so, which shows where we direct our mental energy. You can be intuitive or observant. Next one is nature. You can make decisions and cope with emotions based on thinking or feeling. Tactics, judging or prospecting. Identity, assertive or turbulent. And that's where you get a set of letters which determine your personality type. The second one, Peter's going to explain, because it's a bit more finicky.
So the second one is a little bit more, I don't know, it's more of a out of curiosity thing than it is a determinant factor of our personalities. It's called the dark triad test. Basically it's you get these 3 different traits. One of them is narcissism, the other is psychopathy, and the other one is Machiavellianism. So essentially, you're rated on a scale of 0 to 4 how strongly you feature traits of that trait.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know how to describe it, but how the kind of traits that based on, again, a Likert scale kind of thing of statements where you say strongly agree or disagree. Mm-hmm. So, for example, I like to manipulate people, and then you the thing is, you have to be brutally honest about it. But,
and we once again, as I mentioned earlier, we did take these previously,
Yep.
and we were brutally honest with ourselves. And I didn't like the answers I was putting in sometimes, but that's just how the cookie crumbles. Anyway, so shall we dig into our Myers-Briggs personality?
Yes, let me pull it up.
Okay, so I'll start with mine then while you pull that up. Where's my thing? Come here. I miss you.
You have it.
Yes. So I was an ENFPA. So that essentially means what?
Okay, go on.
So that means that I'm extroverted, which I think is very true. I'm quite an extroverted person. I obviously like my alone time, but I think everyone does. But in general, so I scored a 75% on that one. Do you want to say what yours was?
INFPA.
Oh, so you're just the...
But the thing is that
You're just the introverted version.
So for some context, I've done these tests quite a few times, and it seems I don't know, I sometimes get INFPA, and other times I also get ENFPA. I get
Right.
it depends really on when
That's
I do it.
insane.
That's so funny because there's so many different like possible variations.
Well, there's 16.
Yeah.
That's really funny though.
Yeah, that's actually hilarious.
So for your introvertedness, what percentage did you get for that?
Strangely enough, I got 60, which is way higher than I would have thought, because usually it's like I once had it where it was literally 51.
Oh.
And then I've actually had it 60% extroverted as well, because I answer slightly different each time.
Right.
But
yeah.
it's probably in this area. But
So
yeah.
I've taken this quiz more than enough times in school. I once had to do it for a job, and also like for a psychology class that I took in high school as well.
For a job, you could just lie. Like you could just like look up what is the best personality on 16
No, but it's
personality.
it's not about that. It's so that they know how to manage you and stuff, like
so,
how
yeah,
you
okay.
work best.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So I didn't want to lie. But I've
sure.
gotten the same result every single time. I've always been ENFPA.
That's so interesting.
Yeah. So I am extroverted. I would say myself that I'm more of an introverted extrovert.
Yeah, but see, that's what I would say. That's what I would say about myself as well.
Because I love just being on my own, and I turn off my phone frequently, and I just don't want to speak to anyone, and I need time to recharge. But also, I think most often I need to see people to get myself out of a rut almost.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think I'm exactly the same. Like I also I think I mentioned it in previous episode that I really like my like alone time and my personal time, but I also do like seeing people and like hanging out. Yeah, exactly. Especially like if I'm like feeling down, it's like I'll just go hang out with someone, usually feel better.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And then so I guess our energy was the same. So it explains it as, pardon me. This trait shows that where we direct our mental energy. So you can be either intuitive or observant. I'm very intuitive.
Yeah, same. I'm 78%.
Oh, I'm 70. Right. Would you agree with that?
What is it? What does observant mean?
So I think
really?
it's based on if you make a decision or your day-to-day life in general. I will tend to make decisions based on a gut feeling, which is intuition, essentially, rather than using context clues to kind of figure out how things would work. But yeah, I very much rely on my gut feeling all the time.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with it, honestly. I think so. It's basically whether or not you. Oh no, that's the next one. Huh? But yeah, so it's basically whether or not you rely on your gut feeling or on facts.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I would say so. I think I'd agree with it. I mean, 78% I think is pretty high. I think if I were to just guess and I wouldn't have like done the test, I probably would have said I would have been like a 60.
Yeah.
65. 78. I mean, I believe it. I'm just surprised it's that high, I guess.
I think also when I meet someone, I pretty much know within the first 10 minutes of knowing them if like I actually am going to end up liking them for a long period of time, like actually getting along with them. So? Yeah.
Because we weren't really that big of friends when we first met, though.
No, but I didn't hate you. Like I had nothing against you at all.
Okay,
like
I see what you mean.
it's like I knew I got along with you, but we didn't know each other well enough to find common areas to really build that bond. But there are some people that I met and I pretty much knew right away that we probably wouldn't be friends, and I don't speak to them, and it's not based on a conscious choice. It's that maybe it's subconscious that I make up my mind about someone and I'm like I don't get along with them.
Have you ever had it go the other way though, where you have been wrong?
No. I genuinely don't think I have, but most times I do ignore it. I think when I was younger, like in my younger teen years, I used to ignore it because I was like, oh, I need to be friends with this person.
Yeah.
Because they were cool or whatever, and I wanted to be liked. And now I think as I've gotten older, I realize that what is the point in forcing someone into my life or forcing myself into someone else's life?
Yeah, I think that's a big part, like you said, of being a teenager. It's like, it's also about, there's like the extra dimension of it, which is like the social, like not society, but like your community, right? Your like school
Yeah.
community.
Yeah.
There's also like your social hierarchy. That's what I was going for, to be friends with someone then. But now it's just like, just be friends with who you want to be friends with. You don't have to force anything. You're not necessarily forced into situations where you have to spend time with someone every day, like you would in like a school situation, really. So
yeah. So the next one is nature. This trait determines how we make decisions and cope with emotions. I got 60% feeling, 40% thinking. Do you want to know why that is, Peter?
What, me?
Why we're both feeling? Because we're water signs.
Oh no! Oh, we're starting with the zodiac shit already. Oh,
you just wait, bitch.
Oh, no.
No, but all the time, I'm the most emotional in my family, and to go with zodiacs. So for those of you who are interested, who might know something about zodiacs, my parents, my mum's an Aries, which is a fire sign, and my dad is a Virgo, who I think that's Earth.
I don't know, man.
I think it's
what
Earth.
is this? Like
I'm not
Avatar or
asking
some
you.
shit? What the fuck
I'm
is
not
this?
asking
Earthbenders, firebenders,
and
shit.
then the
What
rest
the
of my
fuck?
siblings are pretty much all fire signs. And then I'm the only water sign, and I am easily, hands down, the most emotional. But also, to go back to the 16 personalities, I'm so feeling based. With everything I do, I'm like, I have to put my feeling into it, you know? Like, so even to boil it down to, say, relationships, my brain doesn't go, oh, okay, this will be a great match because you're in this field, I'm in this field, and they kind of get along. Or, you know, you're financially stable, I'm financially stable. I'm like, I get along with you really well, and I feel emotionally attached to you, so I'll get along with you.
Yeah, no, I think, I don't know. I think I've always just been a very feeling person. I think it's also just like about being a kind of artistic kind of, what?
Being a Pisces.
Yeah, I'm a Pisces, all right.
Okay, I like
it's
doing
a
it
fucking
to annoy you as well.
coincidence, dude. It's a fucking coincidence. But oh my God. Oh, dude, that's gonna be so annoying. Oh no. I don't know. I think I've always been a very feeling person. The thing is, like, I like, the thing is, I'm very aware that I focus on how I feel about something more than like my rational thinking about it. I'm aware of that, so I try to bring rationale into stuff as much as possible. But it's a losing battle.
Yeah.
Because it's like fighting my nature. But it's called nature. It's actually called nature. But it really is kind of fighting my own nature, I guess, to do that.
Yeah. So for tactics, which is, this trait reflects our approach to work, planning, and decision making, I was pretty much split. I had 47% judging, 53% prospecting.
Oh, interesting.
But I don't know what that means.
I think I know. Okay, well, I'll talk about mine. So I got 68% prospecting.
Okay.
So strongly prospecting. It's basically whether or not, I think, if I understand it correctly, is whether or not you're very like methodical and very like planned out when it comes to things. So like, for example, if you plan a holiday and whether or not you plan out everything you're going to do per day, or if on that day you see what strikes you and see what you want to do on that specific day. So prospecting are people who are more like improvisers and more flexible and stuff like that. Well, what's the other one? Judging is more about planning preemptively, I believe. At least that's my understanding of it. Okay. That's my understanding.
Because I would then almost disagree with that, but it is very 50-50, because when I go on holiday with like previous boyfriends or with friends, I plan the activities every day. Like, I have an itinerary.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's growing up and having a huge family where you kind of have to plan those activities.
Yeah.
And I'm just used to doing it that way. But I am more of like a go with the flow person.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's probably why overall it shifted a bit towards the prospecting side, because the way it works for me is that like I like to have like a skeleton of an idea of what, okay, maybe on this day we can do this, but then on that day improvise a lot as to what
between
exactly. So it's like, okay, let's say continuing with the holiday example, we're going to like a temple or something. Maybe on the way there we can stop at a random restaurant, or we can go off to like a jungle trail or whatever, or go to the beach for a couple hours afterward or before.
Yeah.
So like I have like an idea of what I would like to do. Maybe like obviously if you buy tickets for something that's different.
Of course, you have to follow through.
So I mean, just in general, that's how I plan a holiday. Like even before I go, I look at like, oh, this could be fun to do. This could be fun to do. But I don't have a specific order. Yeah, yeah. I guess as well.
When you said that, I thought you were gonna
that.
say this could be a podcast. I was like, hey, that's this show.
But yeah, so no, I definitely very much agree. I do think that the 32% judging is also accurate, because I do still have that skeleton there, which I follow. But then I follow that skeleton and I go from there and kind of remain flexible and adaptive to what's happening.
I think because I think this quiz is like a baseline personality, like what you are inherently, but there are also outside factors as well. Because I think also on holiday, when I do a lot of planning, is also partially to do with my anxiety, where I'm constantly terrified that something's going to go wrong and I'm going to get stuck and I'm not going to be able to get home, or something's going to go wrong. So I like to do preventative measures. And so that is where I plan a lot. But in general, I think with decision making, I'm very much like, oh, whatever, like go with the flow. Yeah. Unless I feel very strongly about something, which isn't very often, to be honest. Yeah. But yeah, I think in general, I think it's correct. And the last one is identity. This trait underpins all others, showing how confident we are in our abilities and decisions. Well,
this is the fifth trait, actually, because like you've got the four main ones, and then this one, because you have two variations of each personality.
So there's assertive and turbulent for each, and that is the same for each trait, but it's like an additional one. So I had 58% assertive. 42% turbulent.
Oh, that's fascinating. I had 58% turbulent, 42% assertive.
Oh,
that is very interesting.
Would you agree with that?
100%. I'm reading like the description here, and I think it is pretty accurate for me. So it basically says that turbulent individuals are self-conscious and sensitive to stress. Okay, that part, I think I work pretty good under stress, actually. I actually quite like stress, especially with schoolwork and stuff. I feel like
you certainly leave things to the last minute.
I leave things to the last minute, but at the same time, I kind of like that stress that I have to get it done. Like it actually motivates me. So that part I'm a bit iffy about, but they are eager to experience a wide range of emotions and to be success-driven, perfectionist, and eager to improve. I would agree with that. I really like. Yeah, I would say I'm quite success-driven for sure, and also obviously quite an emotional person as well, just by nature of being an INFP. INFPT. Oh yeah, because you're INFPA. Right, I got confused about that earlier. Yeah.
And also being a Pisces. Anyway, so I'm gonna keep doing it because I'm doing it to annoy you.
Oh man.
So mine says I'm mostly assertive. I'm not sure I agree with this, but also the percentages are very close to the middle, because assertive individuals are self-assured, even-tempered, and resistant to stress. They refuse to worry too much and do not push themselves too hard when it comes to achieving goals. I agree with the do not push themselves too hard to achieving goals, because my kind of mantra is get it done. It doesn't really matter how well you do it, just as long as you do it. Like C's get degrees, you know? I mean, I obviously did very well in uni, and I tried hard in uni because it was important to me. But I think in general, like small little things, I'm like, oh, that'll do, whatever. I'm not very picky about stuff. And so self-assured, I think I know what I want and I'll get it. But what I don't agree with is even-tempered. I'm not really angry actually ever. But resistant to stress, that is ridiculous. I'm stressed all the time and it affects my sleep. It's why I have the worst sleep schedule in the world, because especially when it comes to exam season, I'm not sleeping at all. because I'm just,
Interesting.
my brain is constantly going and it's just, it doesn't shut up. But I think in general, actually, the more I think about this, I think I've changed my mind from when I said it doesn't really fit me. I think it does, but I think it's a bit of a reach. But also that's why it's 58%.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
it's
yeah,
not
again,
42.
mine is also only 58%. I definitely have also qualities of the assertive side as well. Like, I mean, I think you, like, it puts you into one side of things, but of course you can have features of each side, right?
Yeah,
Of course. I mean, it's not like, oh, nope, you cannot be like that at all or have any other feature from the other side of the percentage, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's interesting. I really do. I know I've read some articles that kind of are like the Myers-Briggs personality test is bullshit and it's not accurate, and you know, but I think it's good to give a good baseline.
It's like a rough idea. It's never gonna fully represent who you are. I mean, I don't think that there's a personality test on the planet who can fully represent who you are and what your personality is actually like, because there's only one person who could ever know that, and that's you.
Exactly.
So I mean, like, there's no test out there that's so like foolproof that it can encapsulate who you are. But it can give a rough idea of your tendencies and some traits you might have, characteristics and stuff.
I think it's interesting that we have essentially the same one.
Yeah.
Because we do work really well together and we do get along very well.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially when it comes to the podcast, when it's making decisions, it's very balanced.
Yeah,
which
sure.
I think is really rare. I don't ever feel like I have to like push for something, and
oh man, I find it so funny that we basically had the same one, because my result just as easily could have also been an ENFPA. It could just as easily have been that as well. Like I said, I flip-flop between the two of them all the time, so
yeah,
I'm very exactly like an introverted extrovert basically is what I would describe myself as, for sure.
very interesting. So what is your, because you're not the campaigner then?
No, I'm the diplomat.
The diplomat. Should we compare them? Maybe go on the general, because I've just found there's like a general overview of the personalities.
Oh, where the fuck is that, dude? You're tripping me out here a little bit. What?
So Peter and I are both diplomats, because there are four categories of four personality types, and but we are different. I am the campaigner personality, the ENFPA, and you are the
INFPT.
What's your name though?
I'm a mediator.
The mediator. So when you scroll down, it gives a general overview of the personality, and we can go ahead and dive into that. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'm reading here that it says that a mediator is someone who possesses the traits we just mentioned, and that these people tend to be quiet, open-minded, and imaginative, and that they apply a caring and creative approach to everything they do.
I think that's very true.
What a sweetheart.
Because your little symbol is a little like woman with butterflies around her. I think you are a very gentle soul.
I don't know if I'm that much of a butterfly, but I mean,
I think you're very gentle though.
I can be. Yeah, I think I'm quite a gentle soul. Yeah, I'd agree.
My first paragraph says, the campaigner personality is a true free spirit. They are often the life of the party, but unlike types in the explorer role group, campaigners are less interested in the sheer excitement and pleasure of the moment than they are enjoying in the social and emotional connections they make with others. Charming, independent, energetic, and compassionate, 7% of the population they comprise can certainly be felt in any crowd.
So you're 7%. Where'd you find that 7? Where'd you find like the percent?
It's just in my first paragraph.
Interesting, because I just got rare.
Rare.
This is a rare person. This is a rare personality type. That's so interesting. I would say it's pretty accurate for you, though.
I'd agree. I think that's why I'm probably more extroverted, because in the sentence that says campaigners are less interested in the sheer excitement and pleasure of the moment than they are at enjoying the social and emotional connections they make with others. I definitely, if I go out with a bunch of people, I don't want to go to a club. I want to be in a pub and be able to talk to people and have those conversations, which I think is the essence of a campaigner, to just talk and make connections.
I find it interesting. So you've never like flip-flopped onto the INFP side of things. You've
No.
only ever been on the extrovert side.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So that means that you're probably definitely leaning more towards the extroverted side of
Yeah.
Trinity.
Yeah. Which I would agree with. I think, once again, as I've mentioned, I think it's from having so many siblings and moving around a lot as well. It kind of forced me to grow up and be more extroverted as a person.
Man, I want to see my percentage here. I can't see my fucking percentage.
Maybe you're not as rare as I am.
I'm triggered. Oh, they say I'm rare. I want to be rare.
Let me have a look. Let me have a look.
But I don't know. It's interesting. I think the thing is that my mood like can fluctuate so much as well. So I think that's also kind of why like sometimes I can be really like interested in talking to people and stuff like that and being social, and other times I'm just more like, oh, I don't really.
Yeah.
I'm not really bothered, so I don't know. It's interesting.
It's funny that William Shakespeare is like the same as you.
And Tolkien. And who else is here? Bjork. Oh, I know Bjork. Bjork is hilarious. Alicia Keys. Tom Hiddleston. Oh, I love Tom Hiddleston.
I have the best people. Robert Downey Jr. Jr. Sorry, and Robin Williams.
Oh, that's great. That is good.
Nice.
That's
Quentin
very good.
Tarantino.
I got Johnny Depp. Oh shit.
And Russell Brand. I love Russell Brand, man. His energy is just everything I wanna embody.
I've also got Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts.
Frodo from the Lord of the Rings.
That is your energy.
The fucking Frodo energy. Oh shit.
Right. But yeah, I think out of 10, how accurate do you feel that was?
Give it like an 8, I think.
I'd give it a solid 9. I feel very happy about these.
Somewhere along there.
Even the ones that I thought originally weren't so accurate when I sort of broke them down. And also on the website, you can go into different, like you can explore your type and look at the strengths and weaknesses, how you are in relationships, friendships, as a parent, which career paths. Maybe that would be interesting to look at, actually.
Oh, yo, what if it's like podcasters? Well,
I mean,
let's have a look.
You know.
You
never know.
What's of the Aussie accent that you keep busting into today?
I'm not sure I like it though.
Let's see. Career path.
Oh my god. Okay, I like this one.
I agree with a lot of what I'm reading here for sure.
Those of you who don't know me, I want to do copywriting. I love writing. It's my jig. Is that what it is? It's my vibe.
It's like your vibe. It's something that it's your
it's
calling.
Something that I like doing. So, it tells you what career paths might be well suited to you, and I was given writing, journalism, acting, and TV reporting.
Where the fuck are you seeing this?
At the very bottom paragraph.
At the very bottom. Let me have a look.
That's the thing when we're comparing them. It's a bit difficult because I think
they write it
people
slightly
write
differently.
them.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I found it.
Yeah. So it's given me all the best ones. Writing, journalism, acting, and TV reporting. We also know I was a drama kid, don't we?
Yeah. Okay. I do not agree with my career.
Really?
At all.
What are they?
Okay, these are just some of them. I don't think that these are actually all of them. I do agree with like the general idea, which is that I want to do something that's more than just paying bills, but it's also fulfilling for me. That I agree with for sure. So they're mentioning that, although they do actually here say that basically any field can work for a mediator, is what they say.
Well, I guess they're very flexible people.
Yeah. Because I mean, like, I did get like the adaptive thing as well, right? I think you did as well, right? Like which one was it? It was
It's hard to remember.
Yeah, fuck, it's a lot of stuff.
ENFP.
Yeah,
trying
anyways,
to remember what they all stand for.
I did get one of them which was flexible and adaptive, so I do agree with that. But like they were also mentioning service careers like rehabilitation and and like massage therapy, and like I'm not doing that. That's not something I'm interested
I think
in.
that's
I'm
a
sorry.
you problem though.
Yeah, I think
But
that's a me thing.
Mine also says a lot of human science or service, from psychology, counseling, and teaching
I had the same thing.
to politics. Oh God, diplomacy and
Oh,
detective work. And I think I'm going to politics.
I don't know about detective work. Keep in mind. I don't know about that.
Detective work, but I'd be so shit at that. I'm not observant enough.
Yeah, dude. Like, we're clearly both. What was it? Intuitive.
Intuitive.
Although, don't
That
detectives
is
use
also
intuition?
Yeah, but
don't
I
know.
think it yeah, I don't know. I think it's very interesting anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you should definitely go and do this one.
100%,
I
100%.
highly recommend this one. It's very interesting. Also, it's very helpful.
And it's free.
It's free, and a lot of managers and stuff use it in post-grad jobs for detecting, you know, how to work with you and what kind of stuff you're into. I don't know how to word it, but you get what I mean.
How to manage you
How
in
to
the
manage
workplace.
in the work.
And how to manage yourself in the workplace.
Exactly.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, the time has come. We've been putting it off a little bit, I feel like.
Because I am actually terrified of this one. So, as Peter said before, this is the dark triad traits. There was only 20 questions, same Likert scale, which is the 1 to 5, you know, 3 being neutral for answers and questions and stuff. And in the end, so it measures you on narcissism, psychopathy, and what's the last one? I can't pronounce it.
Machiavellianism.
Machiavellianism.
You had it.
Yeah, I said it. So that is the tendency to be manipulative, and deceitful.
Yeah.
Should we go with our lowest ones?
Shall we? Okay, my lowest one is psychopathy
Mine as well.
at 1.8. That's my lowest.
I'm at 0.6. So it's out of 4, we should say.
Yeah, it's on a scale of
goes
0
from
to 4.
0 to
by the way,
4.
Yeah. That's my lowest, dude.
That's my... Oh my God. So psychopathy, it defines it as reflects shallow emotional response. The relative lack of emotions leads results in high stress tolerance, a low empathy, little guilt, and leads them to seek extremely stimulating activities, resulting in impulsivity and disposition towards impersonal conflict.
Okay, well, I don't know. Okay, I agree. Like, the thing is, okay, I still got less than half on
What
the scale.
percentile were you in?
Only 15. So it's
I was at 1.
So so you're like literally like the lowest you could possibly be.
Definitely
Meanwhile,
not so
I'm
good.
like, I'm still very low on the scale though. 1.8 is still below like a 2, so it's less
You're
than
almost
half.
at halfway.
Yeah, but the percentile means that I only scored higher than 15% of people.
If that's your lowest, I'm concerned for your higher.
Dude, I'm concerned too because I think I answered the shit wrong or something. Cause this
You
is
didn't
fucked up.
answer it wrong. No.
This is fucked up.
The quiz don't lie. The second one was Machiavellianism. Did I say it?
Yeah, you did it. You got it. Machiavellianism.
So this is the manipulation and deceitfulness. Shall I go first?
Oh, that wasn't my second. That was my first. But this is terrible.
So what's your okay? Should
My
we do
second
it?
is narcissism. But
Should we do
these
it by
last two are bad.
category?
These
Should we do
last
it by
two are-
category?
Yeah, sure.
Or, okay, so we'll do Machiavellianism. Now that I know this word, I'm gonna be saying it all the time. I got 1.8.
Oh man. Oh shit! I gotta take a big drink for this one. I got a free, dude. I can't believe. I think that has to be wrong. It has to be wrong,
I
dude.
think you're a little psychopath this time.
Okay, in my defense, all right. Listen, this is only 20 questions, and to clarify, this does not mean that we are psychopaths or
No, we're
evil or
kidding.
anything.
Yeah.
It's not actually representative. It's
Well.
also questions are up to interpretation, etc. It only means that you potentially have some traits
Yeah.
of these personality
Yeah.
disorders. Basically, is what it is. Which, yeah, but having said that, a 3 is pretty bad considering this is a scale of 0 to 4.
But also, that is such a weird scale.
It is a very strange
It's
scale.
a very small scale, so it's like even 0.5 is a lot.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it depends. That's why the percentiles kind of help add context. And for context, I had a 62%. It means that I have more elements of Machiavellianism than 62% of people.
And that's your highest?
That's my highest out of 3.
Damn, mine was in the 15th percentile. Because I had 1.8.
Oh yeah, because that's the exact same that I had for the psychopathy.
Okay, should we go to narcissism? No. So
this one's bad for me too. Apparently, I'm surprised by these results. By the way, I'm really surprised.
So narcissism, in case you don't know, is like your ego and how highly you see yourself, essentially. This was my highest at 2.7.
No, this is so bad. Mine was also 2.7. That's not even my highest. That just cannot be possible.
No,
I must have fucked this up.
So here is why because we took these before and we briefly were like, oh, I don't know how accurate this is. Well, Peter was saying that, and I was saying,
I'm not buying it. I don't think I'm this fucked up, man.
I don't know about that. But so with the narcissism, one of the questions, which you can tell, like, some of the questions will fall under certain, like, one of the 3 categories. One of the questions was, do you believe people should treat you with the utmost respect, like the respect that you deserve? And I was like, absolutely, strongly agree, because I think everyone deserves to be treated with common decency and the respect that they deserve.
Well, that's up to interpretation then, basically.
And that's why, and there are a few questions like that, and there's only 20 questions.
Yeah, that's the thing to
so
preface,
yeah, like some of the questions were a little strange, but but also how on the website, it's very strange. You can look it up. It's on Open Source Psychometrics Project. And it says that it's gonna take in your results, like, for research purposes.
I just don't think it's that accurate, man.
Like, even at the top, before it shows you your results, it says, the test is complete. Be prudent about sharing your results. The dark triad traits are loaded subjects. No, they're not. Like, no, they're not.
Well, it is kind of loaded. It's like you're a narcissist, or you're a psychopath, or you're a Machiavellian.
They are, yeah.
You know, like it in that sense, it's like, oh, you scored a 1.8 or whatever on narcissism, whatever it is. It means that you have some traits. The thing is, it's very much open to interpretation, one of the questions, and the test is just not long enough really to actually determine whether you have it. Just what it does give is maybe an indication of the likelihood of you possessing some of these traits.
Exactly, yeah. But I think there's a huge difference between being a narcissist and being self-confident as well. Because
that's the other thing, yeah.
I know my parents raised me to have value in myself and be very like, yeah. And because I think it's safer to be like, you're better than you think you are, than to be like, you're worse than you think you are.
Yeah,
so my parents always built me up and were like, you're going to go to university, you're going to do these things because you can. And even though I was like, no, I can't, they were like, yes, you can. And then eventually you end up believing it, you know? I mean,
I would agree with that. It's like, the thing is that a lot of it is open to interpretation, especially like what you just said, for example. The problem is that it's only 20 questions. And I think, interestingly for me, I think that this clashes a lot with the result that I got for 16 personalities.
I think so,
I think it clashes big time.
Especially the psychopathy, because it says that you're not empathetic.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, 1.8 is still, it doesn't mean okay, it's not that high of a score still. All right, come on.
No,
but like the narcissism one as well, I don't know. I don't really think I'm not narcissistic of a person. I just think that I'm confident in who I am and the goals that I have and stuff. But then again, it's like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, what it does show is some elements of it, though. And I guess to be self-confident, you have to be a little bit narcissistic as well.
Of
a little
course.
bit, for sure.
Where do you draw the line?
Yeah, exactly. It's difficult, and a 20-question test can never tell you that accurately. I don't know if there is a test that could tell you that accurately. Again, I don't know. Personality tests are interesting, but this one, I would, if I were to give it an accuracy rating, I'd give it like a 5.
I think I'd give it a 3.
A 3?
I don't think it's that accurate. I think considering it's meant to be like the dark triad test, it feels closer to me to a BuzzFeed quiz.
It really does. You really need to have at least, like, if you're gonna be like using these kind of, like, you know, as like they call it themselves, kind of loaded terms, you need to have at least like 60 questions or something. You can't have 20.
Yeah.
You know, it can't take 5 minutes to determine whether or not you're a psychopath. It doesn't work that way. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's up to interpretation. So I'm surprised, but I do see some truth in it. But I think it's not for the reasons that the test thinks it is. Like for example, the psychopathy one, right? Which I got a 1.8 for. Like, just remember, it's not that high, all right? It's only 1.8. But
it's not. But considering mine was
all right. But like the reason I think I got that is because I answered that I struggled to kind of understand how to react to other people's emotions sometimes. But I don't. But that's not because I can't empathize with them, which is a key sign of psychopathy. Is if you can't empathize with people.
Yeah.
It's more because it's like I don't really know how to handle the social situation.
Yeah. But I think so. If you're diagnosing someone with narcissism or psychopathy, it has to be from a therapist, and it has to be like conversations and over sessions. Then it's not a fucking,
hours
not a
of conversation.
checklist.
Yeah, it can't just be like, oh, that statement was kind of leaning towards being a psychopath. Oh.
Exactly.
And you can't do that. I mean, come on, guys.
Because even with not
so
knowing how to read the social situation, I think you can, because I imagine what probably popped into your head was if a friend went through a breakup and you're like, oh, I don't know whether they want to talk about it.
I don't know how to react to that. It's not.
Am I happy?
Exactly.
Am I sad? You know.
It's not because I don't understand what they're feeling or
but
whatever.
I think that's the difference because it's empathy, not sympathy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think isn't empathy kind of understanding what they're feeling, while sympathy is feeling sorry for them or something like
Sympathy is like you can't relate, but you know, like you understand. And then empathy is like you kind of take on those emotions and you feel almost what they're feeling.
But I would say that I do, though. That's why I'm so confused. Like I really do. If someone is going through something really bad, I really do feel like I feel what they're feeling in it to some extent. But it's like that wasn't really the question.
I think you do too. Yeah, that's why
I really don't think that I deserve
also,
a 1.8.
You can't measure it on a scale of 1 to 5 because it's 0 to 4. No, I mean like the actual questions.
Right.
How it's like strongly disagree, neutral, agree, strongly agree. It just feels very like it depends on the situation. There needs to be an asterisk that I can apply.
Yeah. Or just like a fuck ton more questions just to add some more it just this needed to be like a half-hour kind of test for these kind of subjects, not a 5-minute 20. I mean that's way too short for this kind of thing.
And they present themselves as being this like really reliable source,
like scientific research website and stuff. I don't know. Listen, I'm not denying that there is, I think, some truth in some of them. I disagree completely with my psychopathy rating. I do not think that's accurate because I think I'm a pretty empathetic person.
Yeah.
The Machiavellianism one, again, I think that one is kind of hard to determine, really. I don't think I'm a very deceitful person by nature. I don't feel like I am, but that's a tougher one to rate.
See, I feel like I honestly thought I would have rated higher on that one. Not because I purposely go out and manipulate people, but I think so. Obviously, you have these conversations with your family about what you were like as a kid and stuff, and it was always known that I would find some way to get someone to do something for me. And so I'd manipulate them in the way of being like, oh, I can't do it. Like, oh, can you just do it for me? Like, use a bit of emotion. Yeah. And that's a form of manipulation. And I think I've carried that through a bit. But I don't do it like, I'm going to use these person's emotions against them. Ha, ha, ha. Like, it's not vindictive in any way. It's just... Yeah. I think it's like... I've done it since I was younger, and I probably sound like a proper asshole right now.
No, dude. It's growing up with siblings, dude.
Exactly. Like being the youngest, you always find ways to get people to do things for you.
Like, the thing is that I don't think I ever do that either. I think if I want to do something, I just do it myself. I feel bad sometimes
No, you
if
do.
I get
Yeah.
people to
Yeah.
I feel bad if I get people to do something for me.
Yeah.
That's why I don't know. I must have okay.
But I
Either
think
it's
also-
revealing like my inner demons or whatever, or
Yeah.
something like that, like my inner, which cannot be done in 20 questions. But I
I
don't know.
think you might have taken the questions wrong
Mm,
because
I think so.
I think
I must have.
you're the least.
I don't know.
You're the least manipulative person I think I know.
Like like a free. I don't know about that. I mean, like
That's very high.
I'm trying to think of a.
Also,
recent-
I don't think you're a narcissist at all.
I don't
I think
so
this
either.
is relative. I think this is very accurate for me.
Really, you reckon?
Yeah, I think I can be a bit of a narcissist sometimes.
I think I have some traits of this that I'm willing to accept. Like I do believe in like payback and stuff like that. What trait even is that?
No, but
I don't
that's
even know,
that's the Machiavellianism. Did I say that right? It sounds so wrong to me. It doesn't sound like
It's
an English word.
Machiavellianism, you
Anyway,
got it.
so that it does fall under that category.
Maybe that's part of it as well.
However, I think the questions for that topic were, do you believe in quick and aggressive forms of payback? I'm like, well, Jesus, because I'm thinking of like aggressive forms of payback are very heavy. So I said, no, I don't believe in payback at all.
You see, like my reaction to that was like, if someone steals something from me, I want to react instantly.
But
and
you
like, and
does
like
that
in an
mean you
angry
want?
way.
But does that mean you want to, like, get payback and then maybe rob them in return?
No, not at all.
Because
I want
that's
to
how
physically
you probably
retaliate. Is what I
No,
was
but that's
thinking.
not payback.
Well, that's the way I
Payback
interpreted
is
it.
getting revenge.
Yeah, I guess. I
And
would never
that's
steal.
why-
That's probably.
That's
my
why I think you
misinterpretation.
interpreted wrong.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
that's revenge,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is payback.
No, because for me, like I thought about it. Ironically, someone I know got pickpocketed today, right in London. I'm not gonna mention who. She knows who it is, but
You can't mention who.
I don't know.
I think they. Well, okay. Well,
I mean, I don't want to. Whatever. Anyway, so I was thinking, what would happen if I was there or I got pickpocketed? And I was like, well, I would react. I would react like aggressively and like physically.
would ya?
100%.
I wouldn't.
100%. I would do. I would react very physically for sure and very like angrily. But I don't think that. And I interpreted the
But
question.
also, that's not payback.
But you see, that's the thing. I interpreted that as payback. Like, oh, you stole from me. Now it's payback because I'm retaliating. That's how I interpreted it. So,
No,
yeah.
so I think that's more so self-defense, first of all, and also standing up for yourself and like
Yeah.
taking back what is yours.
exactly.
But payback is like if I stole from you and then
I
you
wouldn't steal back.
and
That's
then
fucking
you-
weird. I just stopped talking
But-
to you.
exactly,
Something like that.
but
I wouldn't-
that's payback.
Yeah.
That's revenge if you
Okay.
do that.
But you see, that's the problem with only having 20 questions. If you have more, the chances of this kind of stuff happening is less likely.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah,
That's why
okay.
I really like the 16 personalities quiz, because a lot of the questions, they come up later in different forms, so that if you interpreted a question one way, then they can double check in a different way.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so you're giving it like a 3. I'll give it like a 5. I agree with some of the kind of traits there, and some of it I can understand, but like I think a 3 is really harsh for me, and a 2.7 on Nars, I think that's really harsh. But
I think for me personally, and how I interpreted the questions, I think it's more accurate. But I think for the general person, I mean, 2 of us took it, one of us got completely inaccurate results, the other one got very accurate results.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Which will happen with 20 questions regardless. So yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, Hobbs, I know you want to
Okay.
do it. Okay, let's go to zodiacs. All right.
So what I'm going to do, because you mentioned before that you think zodiacs are very broad and you can apply most traits to everyone.
Yeah,
So what I'm
I
going
think
to
so.
do, I'm going to read you 3 sets of traits. One of them will be a Pisces.
Oh, this is good. This is clever. I like
And
this.
then
Okay.
you can see which one you closely resonate with.
And also, if I'm a Pisces, am I not like an emotional, like not narcissistic person to begin with? If that's the case,
It's a
I
water
don't
sign.
know. It's a.
I don't want to give too much away.
All right. Okay.
So, you'll find out after which one is the correct one, obviously. Okay, first one. Generous and warm-hearted, creative and enthusiastic, broad-minded and expansive.
Is this one?
This is number one.
Okay.
Faithful and loving. The negative aspects of this are pompous and patronizing, bossy and inferring, dogmatic and intolerant. That is number one.
Mm-hmm.
We'll call that A.
Okay.
B. Modest and shy, meticulous and reliable, practical and diligent, intelligent and analytical. The negatives of these are fussy and a worrier, overcritical and harsh, perfectionist and conservative. C. The last one. Imaginative and sensitive, compassionate and kind, selfless and unworldly. Wait, that's supposed to be a positive trait, but it's not. Anyway, intuitive and sympathetic. And the negative traits are escapist and idealistic, secretive and vague, weak-willed and easily led. Which one do you
I don't know.
identify
They all
with?
kind of sound like aspects of me.
A, B, or C?
I'm kind of mixed on this one. They all have aspects of.
If you would
of
like me to read them again,
No,
me
you don't have to repeat them. I think
Okay.
I'll go with probably either A or C. I'll go with. I don't think I'm easily led or weak-willed, though. I don't think that. I don't know. I guess A.
No.
I don't know.
That's a Leo. But the C was Pisces.
Okay, so I was on the right, but I disagree. I don't think I'm like weak-willed or easily led necessarily. What, you reckon I'm easily led? You reckon so? Shit.
I kind of do.
Oh, really? Fuck.
Okay, so I think the difference between us and why we work so well together is because I'm very flexible and I'm strong-willed, but if you feel strongly about something, I'll do it. However, if I feel strongly about something, I could probably easily get you over onto my side.
Yeah, but
versus
but
when
because
you're
I'm also
strong,
flexible. See, that's so general. But we mean the
well,
same
obviously,
things.
because you're also you're defining a 12th of the population. Like, you can't be like, Peter is very compassionate, you know?
Okay, I don't know about that one, man. I don't think I'm that easily led astray or that weak-willed. I disagree on that one. I'm actually surprised.
Okay.
I disagree.
Shall I read mine?
Yes.
And we can go through and check them and see which ones are accurate. Determined and forceful. How do we feel about that?
I don't think that you're forceful at all. I really don't.
I don't think I'm
so.
forceful. No.
I don't think you're forceful.
I think
at
I'm
all.
determined.
Determined, I would agree with. Yeah, but forceful. I wouldn't say that you're forceful necessarily.
Ready for this? Emotional and intuitive. I mean, that's feelings and intuition.
All right, sure.
Powerful and passionate.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Exciting and magnetic. I get a real confidence boost from these as well. Exciting and magnetic.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Thanks.
I mean, I agree.
And the negatives, jealous and resentful. I can be...
Not in my experience.
In
but...
relationships, I can get very jealous.
Okay.
I've learned from it, though. Compulsive and obsessive. We've talked about this before, how I obsess over different things, different games.
Yeah, true.
Compulsive. I don't know. I don't particularly sway with yes or no on that one.
These descriptions are losing me more and more on this zodiac shit, man. I don't know about that, man. This is so fucking general because I think I can also be obsessive and compulsive sometimes as well. But I'm not. What are you again? You're like a Leo, right? Or what
I'm
is
a
it?
Scorpio.
I'm not a Scorpio.
So,
I don't know, man.
Shall we do I want to see if there's like a friendship Pisces and Scorpio.
I think I'm just flexible. I really like the thing is if I really disagree, like I'm
You're really
I'm not
butthurt
letting go
about
of that
that.
weak-willed thing, man. Like,
No,
listen.
I I don't think you're particularly stubborn.
I'm not I mean, like, it depends.
I don't think you're stubborn at all, in
it,
fact.
It depends on what it is. I can be very stubborn, but it depends.
I've never seen you as stubborn in your life. Even with
I'm
Nicole.
being stubborn right now.
No, you're not. No, you're not. This isn't
disagreeing.
stubborn. This isn't. But now you're going to be stubborn because now you're hurt
Oh,
and
come
you want
on,
to
dude.
be
This
right.
fucking zodiac stuff, dude.
You're so
oh my
emotional.
Listen, all right. I don't know. I can agree that I'm flexible, and if someone, like you said, feels really strongly about something and I'm indifferent, but I'll go the path of least resistance. I'll agree for sure. 100%. Especially if someone else feels really passionately about something, 100%. But
When's Nicole's birthday? Is she an Aries?
16th of May.
Is she 16th of May?
I don't know.
I think she's a Taurus.
I'm
Let me
not
have a
sure.
look.
She's told me before, but I can't
She's
remember.
a Taurus. Ding ding. Okay. Makes sense. Gotta say, makes sense. Okay, should we do more descriptions?
Okay.
I like testing you on them just to
All right,
see.
sure, let's
okay.
go.
Hang on, I gotta find some. So I'm gonna read 3 more descriptions. One of them being a Pisces, the other 2 I won't tell you.
Okay.
But and then you can decide which one you resonate with. Okay. Number 1. Or A, shall we say.
Okay.
Extroverted, optimistic, funny and generous. B. Affectionate, empathetic, wise and artistic. And C. Eager, dynamic, quick and competitive.
Again, I could be any of these.
No, you couldn't.
I'm extremely competitive.
No, you're not.
I am the most competitive person you will ever meet in your life, dude. You can ask anybody when I play a game or a board game or anything. I'm extremely
I've
competitive.
played games with you before and I just don't think you're that
We played
competitive.
RuneScape. What do you mean? What games? We played RuneScape.
We played
No.
board games together.
It's B, obviously, right? That's the Pisces, obviously.
Yeah, it is.
It's B, but I again.
Oh, but
it's-
obviously, because that's the one you most resonate
Yeah, no,
with.
because like that's like no, it's not because that's the one I disagree with. It's because the one that's like the most consistent with the earlier Pisces traits.
So you agree? You think you're a Pisces?
Well, I am a Pisces, but I don't think that. I don't know, man. I can be extremely competitive, but I can also be affectionate.
You are not competitive.
You can. Okay, listen. If you know me, write into This Could Be a Podcast and tell me whether or not I'm a competitive person. I can guarantee to you, all of them will say, yes, he is the most competitive asshole you've ever. I'm telling you, when it comes to board games, when it comes to video games, I'm so
I
competitive.
love winding you up.
It's driving me crazy.
I know.
Oh my god.
I know.
I am competitive though, dude. I used to do athletics and stuff. I have to be competitive, otherwise I wouldn't be able to do that. Come on.
Do you think I'm competitive?
I think you can be, yeah, definitely.
No, I'm not.
You don't think so?
No, I'm not competitive.
Oh, come
in this way.
on.
I am not competitive, and I don't even know if Scorpio's meant to be.
My problem
They
is that
probably are
I
meant to
see
be.
everybody else as competitive because I'm competitive. Like
How does that make any sense?
because like I'm constantly competing with everybody. I feel like in my head. I'm telling you, I'm for sure.
Maybe you're just insecure.
Okay, all right.
No, I'm kidding. So I think it's interesting that both of us are water signs. Water signs are generally to be more emotional.
Yeah, okay, sure. I can agree with that.
So, fair enough with the other 2. Well, maybe not you for psychopathy, but you did the test wrong. So,
No,
but
fuck's sake.
for the okay, it's so wound up. But for the for the psycho, not the psychopath, for the 16 personalities, I think it's very accurate that we are like essentially the same for 16 personalities.
Okay, listen, I'll agree that I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on one aspect of this. I do not agree on the weak-willed part. I really do not. I especially do not agree on the not competitive part. I'm telling you I'm not, for sure. But I do agree that there are aspects of the water, whatever the
Water
fuck category,
signs.
whatever, that are true. Like I am
Don't pretend you
artistic.
don't know. I almost called you Scott then. I don't know why.
Scott.
Don't pretend you don't know.
I would say I am artistic. I would say I am generous, and I would say I am affectionate. I would agree, and emotional. I would agree with that. But some of these specific details, I'm not buying, dude. I'm not buying the weak will. I'm not buying the not competitive part. No. That's not true. Oh, no.
It only hurts because it's true.
Okay, now you're just kind of like, okay, all right. I'm not falling for it this time. I'm not falling for it this time.
I'm winding you up. Let's not.
I'm going to start fucking fighting with this bottle over here, dude.
You're going to bottle me.
Okay, all right, let's get to it then. Bar fight.
You say I'm not competitive. Let's arm wrestle.
We'll find out.
But yeah, in general, how do you find zodiacs? How accurate do you think it is?
A 1. No, I'm kidding. That's a lie. I would say like a 5.
Stop being stubborn.
A 5 is higher than I was going to give it. Honestly, that's way higher. I would have given it a 2. I do agree with aspects of it, but I think that it varies a lot from person to person.
Of course.
All jokes aside, like I really do disagree with some of the traits, but I do agree with some of them as well. Like I do think that it is interesting how the water like signs and stuff like that are generally more emotional, and how that is actually consistent with the personality test we did. I think that's interesting. But just like the personality test, I think that the specific person and some specific traits cannot be specifically like correlated to a zodiac. I don't think completely. I don't think that any of this can really be representative of actually who you are.
No, because obviously it doesn't take into account your personal experiences. And I think
Exactly.
birth order psychology is the most interesting thing. And it could just be because I have so many siblings that it gets really specific at
And
that
I was
point.
the youngest sibling. I have to be competitive by nature.
I mean, you were kind of basically an only child.
Yeah, as well. Like it's weird how that dynamic also plays into it. So I mean, it's like, I don't know. I think that there is some truth to it, but again, same as the dark triad thing, I'm gonna give it like a 4 or like a 5, something in that range. I think a 4 actually, because I'll give it a 4. I think 5 is too generous. But that's I was gonna give it a 1 at first, honestly. So it's raised 3 points on me. So
Okay.
it's an improvement.
So, as I've mentioned before, I am into zodiac stuff. And
Just gonna
if
give
you...
it like a 10 or something.
No, I'm not. Hang on. Just give me a minute. So, if you're just looking at your sun sign, it's not going to be that accurate because it is literally the most general thing you can do. It's like, oh, your favorite color is this. You must be this kind of person. No. However, if you know your birth time, I highly recommend you go and look at your natal chart, because it tells you your sun, moon, rising, and all other planets. And each planet... Shut up, you're laughing at me. But sucks to be you.
I'm sorry. I'm
sorry that you don't believe in anything.
I'll try to give you
No. So, but if you look at them, it can give you a more detailed report. And a lot of it is very interesting. And over quarantine, I actually started learning how to read birth charts. And so I was on the phone to my mum the other day, and we were going through everyone's birth times and stuff. And we were like analysing everyone. We were like, oh my God, that's so true. So I think it's worth looking into. Maybe what would be a really great episode is that one day I just fully psychoanalyze you based on your zodiac sign.
That's not a psychoanalysis.
No, it's a moon analysis, baby.
Oh my God. All right. We'll do that sometime then. All right. Oh, for fuck's sake. We could even do that as like a could you do a whole episode of that though, or would it like will it take like an hour?
I think so. Well, obviously, like there would be discussion in between.
Yeah,
so
of course. Okay, sure.
It's not like I cannot read your whole chart in an hour. That is, I'd stretch it out a lot. And also, I'm still not an expert, so otherwise I'd
you
be
have to get your degree first in zodiacs.
Oh, you're a little bully. I'm kidding.
No,
I'm kidding. No. Yeah. I need to get my my zodiac degree now that I've got my real university degree.
Again, congrats to the Hobson.
Thank you very much. I worked very hard. It's been a long road. Anyway, but yeah. So, let's round it off and say how we would describe ourselves, or maybe even better, let's describe each other. Say if you were talking about me to someone who'd never met me, how would you describe me? And I'll do the same for you.
Okay. I think you're very social. I think you are definitely extroverted. However, you have some introverted tendencies, is what I would say. Like, you do like your personal time. You do like more like personal conversations. Kind of the most accurate for me, again, is a 16 personalities one. So I'm following a bit kind of closely to that one. I think you are kind-hearted. I think you are flexible for sure. I think you're a very nice person. I don't think that you're cruel at all. I wouldn't even necessarily say that you're that narcissistic. At least in my experience with you, I wouldn't say so.
Remember, I don't know if we said this on the podcast or not, but I think you said a little while ago that how I seem when you first meet me is different to how you see me now.
Yes, I will say that. Getting to know you, I do not think that you're narcissistic, but maybe at a first glance, you think she's just this bubbly, like, kind of
airhead.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
At first glance, first impression, maybe, but I think if you go deeper, definitely not. I would definitely say no to that. But yeah, I think generally say no.
For you, I'd say you are so incredibly kind. You're very nice, very smart, very funny.
Maybe I am a narcissist. I'm kidding. Just
very weak-willed.
Okay, all right.
I think you are. That's the thing. I wouldn't say. So in my mind, there's strong-willed, flexible, and then there's someone who's more lenient. I will say. I think you are more of a lenient person.
I think I'm flexible in my opinion, but okay, I'll.
You're wrong.
All right, I'll take. All right, no. This is your description.
But interesting how when I first met you, I thought you were very much like, and maybe this just was how you were at the time because you were 8. I mean, we were 18 when we met each other, and you were a teeny tiny baby, and you've grown up a lot since I first met you, and you were very much the guy who was into the memes, quite nerdy, and just seemed very young and quite immature in a way. But I actually think getting to know you more, you're quite mature.
Yeah.
So I think that's interesting how there's like this initial, like if we took our initial personalities of what we thought we each had, like me being the bubbly airhead and then you being the nerd thing, that's probably why we never thought we'd get along.
Yeah,
because
probably
those personality types don't get along.
You know, I also think it has to do with social dynamics before university as well, because those two groups would never interact in like high school.
Exactly. It's a very high school mindset.
It very much is a super high school mindset. And it's just it really has to do with just age and just going through like life experiences as like a young adult. I think really, I didn't think it would be that drastic of a change before I moved here, but really, I mean, like in the last 3-4 years, I've changed a lot.
Me too.
I barely, for sure, I barely recognize myself at all. But the thing is, I also know you a lot better now, so it's kind of hard to judge how much you've changed on that, because I just know you a lot better now. I didn't really know you that well before.
For once again, those of you who don't know, literally until we started this podcast, you've pretty much seen us get to know each other through this podcast, essentially.
In a way,
because we didn't hang out just us two before, and it was always in groups, and even at parties we never really spoke, which I think
sometimes, but like not
like sometimes, but they were very like about school or about our friends, and they were quite surface level. And I think now you've seen through the podcast, and if you go back and listen to one of the first episodes, I know I can hear it. You can hear that we just don't know each other as well, and we don't bounce off each other the same as we do now. I mean, before we wouldn't hang out outside the podcast, and now we do. Yeah. So interesting how things go, how people perceive you versus how you perceive yourself is very interesting. Everyone's like first reaction to me is that I'm very much this like narcissistic, like, oh my god, like cheerleader airhead kind of deal. And I think sometimes I forget that I'm more than that as well.
Really?
Yeah, because I think So I think when people meet you and they perceive you in a certain way, they'll take you as that way, and you'll kind of adopt some of those mannerisms. Sure. And now I'm like, no, I have a lot more dimension to me than I thought I did, especially coming to uni.
100%. You see, that's the other side of it, is that like I'm basing my first impression of you, Vo, also when you were way younger. You know, that's another huge part of it as well, is that like I wonder how it would be to meet you for the first time now. I'm curious if my reaction to you would be different.
I think so. It's funny. I was talking to my sister Beth today, who was on last week's episode. If you haven't heard it, please listen to it.
The week before that.
The week before that. Oh yes, it was 2 weeks ago. And she was saying to me that I've, even just in the past year, I've mellowed out a lot. I used to be very like in your face, very loud, and just in this past year alone I've mellowed out a lot, which I think is, and I noticed it in myself as well. So even just a year alone is personality changing.
Well, we're really in like a very kind of influential part of our lives though right now. Like now is when you become an adult who will be kind of not who you are for the rest of your life, but the baseline for who you are for the rest of your life. I feel like, you know, so I'm not surprised about it at all. I wouldn't be surprised if I've changed completely in a year from now either. Not completely, but aspects of me.
I think you've changed a lot since I first met you.
Oh yeah, I mean,
you're like a whole different person. I think I've changed gradually, but to me it seems like you've changed almost overnight. But I don't know if that's because we weren't so close.
I don't know. I think it really was kind of a mixture of both. In that I definitely changed rapidly. I think especially not last year, but the year before, 2018. I think I changed a lot.
I would agree with that.
I think 2018 was the year where I really kind of grew up. I guess was 2018. And I think it is one because you didn't know me that well before, but also just because I did change, I think, quite quickly in 2018. So yeah, I don't know. Interesting stuff for sure.
I think 2020 made me grow up a lot. I'm
you
a
reckon?
Different woman.
Well, I think everybody has kind of reacted to 2020 in their own ways, and I think it's definitely going to leave a lasting impact on everybody for sure. For years to come.
Absolutely. I think, like in general, I feel a lot less anxious. Like since I feel so serene all the time. I'm just so relaxed. Like I really do feel like I've really come into my own, and I'm just relaxing, and I'm not trying to be that really bubbly person. Because I think I used to do that to like get people to like me, and I wanted to be that super bubbly person that everyone wanted to be around, and I'm like, oh, I don't really want people around me to be like a bunch of people. It's not even that. I think this time I know who my true friends are over lockdown, because you do choose who you see, because obviously you're not going to the parties and going out to clubbing and going out with people that you barely know. Now you have to choose your social bubble, and I think the people I've chosen are pretty nice, and I feel more comfortable in myself and who I'm surrounded by. Yes.
Well, I mean, I think that's pretty much like the best growth you could have during the lockdown. I think just during 2020. I mean, that's great. I mean, I think that's the way to handle it. You know, you got to look at it. I mean, you got to look at most things in life as a way to grow and kind of learn who you are and who your friends are, for sure.
Yeah. For sure.
Well, all right. I reckon it's time we wrap up. It's been a long one.
It has, yeah. Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed, feel free to share us on all your social media platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Anywhere you want. I don't know.
Really.
Anywhere you like. We have a share button. Also, we are on YouTube, in case you don't know or you've forgotten. If you just go on YouTube and type in "This Could Be a Podcast," you will find us, and feel free to watch all our videos, put a like, subscribe, and we will see you next week. Bye.